Today I'm going to talk about the exterior of my Nissan 350Z race car. For this video, I'm going to be more talking about things on the exterior that aren't functional. So I'm not going to focus on the aero. I'm going to do a different video for that. This is more about the livery and all of the different stickers and the reason that things are the way that they are from just a visual perspective. As some of you may know and some of you may not, this livery is based off the Nissan 380 RS-C livery. It's a special spec race car that Nissan made towards the end of the 350Z's lifespan. It used a 3.8 liter V6 that has more in common with a DE motor than it does with the 370Z motor. You could get it as a street car or as a track-only race car, and this is a livery they put on the race car. This was the Nismo livery they used on the race car. You could get it with a different livery if you wanted. I really like it. It's easily my favorite livery of any 350Z based car or any Nissan based car, really. I thought about trying to do a BRE tribute, but I just couldn't quite get it to work exactly how I wanted. It didn't look as good on this car as it does on the 240. I tried to keep the car as simple as possible. Painting it white was the easiest color I could paint it. It would hide a lot of my mistakes as I'm a novice painter. And then anything that's not white is going to be black, because you can get pretty much anything in black. So like the side skirts, the splitter, the air dam, the mirrors, anything that's not going to be white, the contrasting color, it's going to be black. Got a lot of different stickers on this car. I'm not sponsored by any of them except for Wheel Well. I just have them on there because it makes me happy. Those are parts that I've got on the car that I've had good experiences with. So I have no problem putting their name on the side of the car. We've obviously got our race number and our classing on there. 247 obviously because of the YouTube channel, and also the fact that the odds of someone else having that same 3-digit number is pretty slim, so I should never have to run a different number. Really the only anomaly color is yellow. I really love yellow brake calipers. I'm not a fan of red brake calipers just because everybody does red brake calipers. So I think the yellow brake calipers, the yellow hash mark on the steering wheel, and the yellow belts just add a nice little extra tertiary color in there to make things a little bit different. Overall, I'm really happy with how the exterior of the car looks. It really turns a lot of heads, especially at things like Cars and Coffee, and even going to track days, everyone comes up and looks at the car or comments on it because it is easily the most extreme area of the car. It looks a lot more extreme than it is just because of what the exterior looks like. You don't usually do this to a daily driver, so it's gonna make it look a little bit more extreme. For the future of the car, I really don't have that many plans for the exterior. I wanna redo the gray and red striping of the 380 RS livery just because it didn't stick very well. I just couldn't get the vinyl to stick to my paint job because it's not 100% smooth, so I'll need to go in and wet sand it just to go ahead and stick a little bit better. It stuck fine for a while, but getting washed and rained on and track days and a couple of times of daily driving, it's starting to peel a little bit. The biggest change to the exterior is going to be I want to replace all of the body panels with fiberglass. So front fascia, rear fascia, front quarter panels, doors, the hatch. I'm not going to worry about the hood because the hood is as light as it's going to be. The goal for the front and rear fascias isn't so much to make them lighter. They're already made out of plastic. It's the fact that they're currently made out of multiple pieces. So for the front fascia, I'd like to incorporate the block-off panels that covered up the side markers, the air dam, the ducting to the radiator, and the side spats that cover up the front of the front wheels, turning 5, 6, 7 different pieces into one piece. So that way I can take it off in a matter of seconds instead of taking it off in a matter of minutes. It'll just make it a lot easier to do trackside repairs to the radiator, the oil coolers, doing different things with the aero. It'll also make it a lot more efficient because I won't have any gaps for air to leak through. It'll all be one piece. Same deal with the fenders. They are made of steel, so the fiberglass fenders should be lighter, but I can also go ahead and incorporate those louvers. I can incorporate the big vent behind the wheel. I'm going to get rid of that little arch behind the wheel and just make that whole side vented. So it'll be lighter, less drag, and it should look better. Similar to the front fascia, the rear fascia is in a lot of different pieces. There's the block-off plates for the blinkers. There's the bumper cutouts. There's the fact that the bumper is shorter. There's where I tried doing a different blinker setup just under the taillight. So it's a smorgasbord of a bunch of different pieces. If I can make an all one piece, and I hate how Nissan designed the rear bumper to attach. It's really obnoxious to get it on and off. So I could make it a lot simpler to get back there. If there's anything I needed to change out or tweak in the rear end, I could get that out in a matter of seconds instead of a matter of many minutes. Currently, there's nothing really wrong with the door except for this. Currently, there's nothing really wrong for the door except for this. I've gutted the door as much as I possibly can, and it is still extremely heavy. The problem is I can't do anything until I get the car caged and have door bars, because I do not want to get rid of that factory side impact protection. I want to keep that until I've got the cage. And then basically the door is just going to be a skin. It's just going to be there to block off the side of the car for air and for aesthetics, but it should be extremely light, and that's going to take a lot of weight off the car. The rear hatch is already as gutted as I can make it. There's really nothing else I can cut out of it without compromising its structural integrity. And seeing as it holds my splitter, I need it to be strong, at least at the back. I've already replaced the glass with a Lexan window, and I've cut off as much stuff as I possibly can. But eventually I will replace this with fiberglass, because like the doors, at that point it just needs to be a skin to cover up a big hole in the car. I'll have a chassis mounted wing at that point and won't be using the spoiler anymore. So similar to the hood, I'll have it lift off with 4 pins instead of being on the hinges. So that way I can just pick it up, slide it out of the way, access the back of the car, adjust the wing if I need to. But again, that should take a lot of weight off the car. But that is definitely one I'm going to do last, because until I move the weight distribution back, I don't really want to take any more weight off the rear of the car. Overall, I'm extremely happy with how the exterior of the car looks. It doesn't make it any faster, it doesn't change its performance in any way, but it really does make me happy every time I look at this car. It just makes it that much more of an enjoyable experience. Visually, it's not going to change that much. It's just going to get a little bit cleaner as I replace those parts with the fiberglass parts. Thought about doing them in carbon fiber, but the price is just not worth it. It's so much more expensive to do them out of carbon, but the weight savings isn't going to be that significant. Eventually, I'll get new wheels. I'm going to switch to some inky 18 by 10.5 flow form wheels, but that's down the road. I don't have the money for that right now. So for the foreseeable future, this is how the car is going to look. If you have any questions, drop them in the comments below. Hit that subscribe button, and I will see you guys next week.